Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss about debate. You may not be aware of it, but you use debates even in your daily activities. You hear people argue in different domains, such as in home, school, office, market, church, and in the government. This is so because a debate is loosely defined as it involves the exchange of opposing ideas or arguments. There are two types of debate. We have the formal and the informal debate. First, let us talk about the formal debate. A formal debate is a debate which is carried out in a formal manner. So this usually takes place in public meeting. Under a formal debate, the exchange of argument follows a certain procedure or a set of rules and has a definite format. Formal debates are held in formal settings, such as in school, in the House of Representatives, or even in the Senate. So under formal debate, debaters come prepared. So the debaters should be equipped with the knowledge they need to be able to reason out effectively. Because in a formal debate, a topic is debated upon and the debaters listen to the arguments raised by the other debaters from which they build their arguments and argue their position. So that is the formal debate. Another type of debate is the informal debate. Informal debate, on the other hand, do not follow a structure. While there are also two sides, the affirmative and the negative, informal debate takes place anywhere. So it does not involve two teams. It may take place between two or more people arguing for or against a certain issue. An example would be two friends deciding where to eat their lunch for the day. Next are the skills needed in debate. So we have four: reading, speaking, writing, and listening. You need all the language macro skills to be an effective debater. The productive and receptive skills work together and are not independent of each other. Certainly, these skills should go with critical thinking, especially since listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing can only be successful if practiced with critical thinking. As you listen, speak, and read, you also need to take down notes, so note taking is imperative. First, let us discuss about reading. For you to become a successful debater, you should be a wide reader. Sir Francis Bacon once said, "Reading maketh a full man, writing an exact man." So many say that through reading, you can visit places, experience other cultures, and learn new things. In fact, if you read extensively, you are able to look at things differently. Your knowledge of things is not restricted to a single perspective but to many. You are able to weigh things more objectively because you have gained a deeper understanding of life. Such is the beauty of being a book lover or a passionate reader. So it is true that reading maketh a full man, writing an exact man. Next will be speaking. So you, being a voracious reader or a bookworm, will certainly manifest itself in the way you speak. You never run out of thoughts and words once you are asked on a certain topic. So the knowledge you have gained from reading can manifest in your wide vocabulary and in a distinct use of speaking style that can change the mind of your listeners, sway and win over to your side. When you speak, always remember that you should articulate your thoughts very well, pronounce clearly the words you utter, use the appropriate rate and volume, speak with grammatical accuracy, maintain the correct bearing or poise, and employ nonverbal codes such as gestures, facial expression, and movement. Next is the writing. So it is in the writing skill where the making of a full man is achieved. Reading and writing are the skills that go together. As a passionate reader, you increase your vocabulary significantly. You are able to express in your writing your full understanding of yourself, the world you are in, your views about life, and your perspectives of people. But you become only a full man if you are able to adjust to the needs of time and are mindful of your shared responsibility to help improve other people's lives. And lastly, we have the listening. Though not usually emphasized, listening is equally important as the other skills. Thus, it should not be taken for granted. Just like reading and writing, listening and speaking go together. In a debate, if you do not listen carefully to the arguments of your colleagues and the members of the opposing team, you cannot build on your teammates' argument and refute convincingly the claims of the other team, respectively. As Jimi Hendrix once said, knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Indeed, this is true. For aside from reading, it is only through listening that you are able to gain knowledge and wisdom. It is also through listening that you are able to show respect to others. So those are the skills needed in debate. Next is the ethical consideration. Freely and Steinberg on the year 2014 in their book Argumentation and Debate, Critical Thinking for Reasoned Decision Making defines ethics as a set of constructs that guide our decision making by providing standards of behavior telling us how we ought to act, that was cited on page 105. So debaters therefore question issues of right and wrong, including the applications of standards of ethics. At times, people also find themselves challenging their own ethical standards. It is difficult to assume that just because a debater sees something to be unacceptable, then it really is. Remember that assumptions lead to poor arguments and poor decision making. Remember that people having different ethical assumptions about this world, they have different ways of viewing things. So it is essential not to make sweeping statements when laying down arguments, as this may pave the way for the opposing team to question the claims. And lastly, we have the dress and appearance. So you should be mindful of how you look in a formal debate. So your appearance is just as important as the paralinguistic cues and nonverbal behavior as discussed in the previous lesson. If you are a female speaker, wear a business attire that will make you look respectable. So you should not wear colors that are ostentatiously attractive. So very high-heeled shoes and flat shoes should also be avoided. Instead, wear heels that are manageable. For example, 1 1/2 to 2 inches heels. Makeup and jewelry should also be worn conservatively. On the other hand, for males, you also need to wear business attire, avoiding loud colors. You should also wear a coat and tie, but do not wear a tie that comes in flashy or glaring colors. So you should be able to match your inner clothes with your outer clothes. Do not wear large ornaments. Your nails should be cut, hair well combed, and shoes neatly polished. So that is about debate. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have learned something.